All right. Hi, guys. Hello. All right. Welcome, welcome. I'm just going to pop up my notes really quickly. Say hello. Let me know who is here. I'm just going to get my notes going. Awesome. Really, really excited to talk with you guys today. All about shiny object syndrome. We're going to talk about procrastination a little bit. And also, if you have a lot of ideas, how do you manage them so you can stay the course, create consistent income? That's what we're going to be diving into today. So say hello. I just want to pull up a thing here, screen, so I can make sure I can see questions, comments. Say hi as you guys join. Let me know who's here. Awesome. All right, let's just get this going. All right. Good. Okay, cool. Hi, Valerie. How are you? Hi, Gail. Great to have you here. All right. And as we go through some of this content, guys, feel free to share this out. If you know anyone that would like to participate in this or would find a lot of value from this, all right. Post your questions in the comments if you have any as we go through as well. I am happy to answer any questions you have. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So the first thing I guess that I would want to ask you guys, right, is like around the shiny object syndrome, the procrastination, and kind of having all of these ideas, and we just kind of don't know how to compartmentalize them, how to organize them so that we can make them work for us, right? So that we can be productive, so we can get results, get clients, be consistent, manage our time better, right? So you could be someone that has so many ideas that you don't know where the start or the end is, right? Like, where's the start line? Where's the finish line? I don't even know where to begin, right? Maybe your day consists of just a bunch of busy work, right? Because procrastination is your new normal these days. I know that was me for sure. And maybe it's that you see so many creative, fun, and just sexy ideas floating all through your inbox and all through your newsfeed or your social channels, and you just are like, kind of falling into everybody else's business, and you're downloading and you're consuming and you're watching and you're reading, and your business has been kind of put to the side, right, while you're doing this, and you've kind of lost yourself and your time in everybody else's business. I always say that other people's emails, other people's, social stuff in marketing and all of that, it's other people's business. So I like to stay in my own lane. I like to stay in my own business, and I don't fall into the trap of like spending my time or putting my time and energy in other people's agendas, right? So all those emails, all those things that we're seeing on our newsfeed, that is another person's agenda for their business for that day. And when you take yourself away from your business and you take yourself out of your own agenda and fall into somebody else's agenda, that's where we tend to have this SOS syndrome, the shiny object syndrome. It's where we tend to get all these ideas and like, it's how do we organize them? And then we get into all this busy work and we start to procrastinate, right? It's really self-sabotaging, honestly. But that, is typically what I see right now happening. I know this was me for a very, very, very long time. Like several years, I fell into these traps. And, it's between all the ideas and the different offers and all these different strategies that you can use, all the ways that you can grow your business and get clients. There's just this endless supply and all this busy stuff floating around that, our days can tend to get really full of like things to do, right? Where we feel busy. We feel like you know, I never have a shortage of tasks. There's always this big to-do list. There's always stuff that's got to get done, right? There's always something that I could be doing. Where you're working in your business, right? Because there's no problem doing that, right? Working in your business, like creating sales pages, writing blog posts, structuring your emails, setting up funnels, you know, creating website pages, all of that stuff is like working inside your business. They're not money-making activities. They're not working on your business. You're working in it, right? And there's a never-ending to-do list with that. You could be doing that for the rest of your life. And for me, I always had things to just keep me really busy, right? Like if that's you, let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you, if you feel like, you know, yep, I always have this never ending to-do list that I can't seem to keep up with. I can't get it all done. I feel like I could literally work in my business all day, every day for the rest of my life and still not get caught up. Maybe you feel like, you know, you're working on things that are inside the business, but not on the business, right? We're not growing it. We're not moving it forward toward a goal. We're just working in it, getting these random things done, or maybe constantly creating, right? And you feel like you just always have things to keep you busy. Tell me if that is something you can relate to, okay? I'm just going to pop over really quick. I want to make sure that I can see any questions or comments. Yeah. I definitely resonate. Hi, Yanka. Good morning. Hi, Laura, Cindy, Laura. Laura's got her hand raised. Cindy says, yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, and this is what I was experiencing too. So I get it. Like we all kind of fall into this little trap, right? Of procrastination and just kind of SOS, right? So the thing is that the way that we kind of validate this busy work, this procrastination, this, you know, shiny object syndrome and all these ideas is that we say, hey, I'm learning a lot, right? Like I'm learning all kinds of new things. I'm broadening my experience, my education, my skill set. That way, when I do decide to launch my business someday, I'll have all the pieces together and I'll know all the things and I'll have all this education and like I'm learning constantly from the best of the best. And that's how I used to validate my constant hustle was like, hey, I'm learning everything. Like I'm learning from the best. I'm following the best. I'm doing everything they're doing. And like, that's kind of how I validated that it was okay for me to, you know, fall into everybody else's ideas and everybody's agenda and consume all this information and never work on my business. That's how I validated it. But the problem was that I didn't know how to organize the ideas and make them work for me, right? Like to put them to work for me so that in my business, the ideas and things that I was creating were producing a result for me, an inward result. I didn't know how to organize it that way, right? In my own business. So I had so many ideas that I eventually just forgot to run my business. I forgot that I had people counting on me and relying on me, that I had to show up for and to serve. And I forgot that, you know, I started my business to help people and to make a really good living while doing so, right? So let's talk a little bit because this is resonating with you guys. And so I want to talk a little bit about some of these things and what we could be doing, what you can be doing so that, you know, you're not falling into this SOS trap or this market mode trap or this procrastination or having all of these ideas that you don't know what to do with, you don't know how to organize them, and you're not getting this forward momentum in your business. You're not seeing consistent results, right? So I want to start with the SOS piece, this shiny object syndrome. This seems to be the hot topic, and it's something that most people say that they struggle with or have a problem with. Let's start there. And then if you have questions as I go through this, totally put them in the comments. You know, share this out if you think anyone could use this information, but also ask your questions and tell me if you can relate to this, okay? All right, so basically, like typically what I see when we get lost in SOS, and this is kind of what I experienced for me specifically, is that usually what we're doing is we're looking for validation or some sort of like confirmation from other people of what we should be doing, what we could be selling, or what we should be offering, right? We're basically looking to see what are others doing first. And then from there, we will decide what we'll be doing, right? So it's kind of looking at like, well, let me see what everybody else is doing first. What are they doing? What are they offering? What strategies are they using? What are they pricing it as? Like, what's the price point? How long are they structuring it for? What does it include? What do their emails say? Wait a minute, let me check out their Facebook group. Are they doing any Facebook Lives? And what do those look like? Like, what are they talking about? Basically, we're looking for some sort of validation or confirmation that this is what we should be doing, or this is what we should be selling, or this is how it should look. And we're going and doing that first, right? Before we start to decide what we're going to do in our own business, right? So we're doing that versus getting quiet and really trusting ourselves and creating things that feel aligned, like a true extension of ourselves, right? So perfect example of that, when I started this coaching business, you know, I really started by following other people. So what I did is there was probably like 5 ladies in the industry that were killing it. And I would follow these 5 women, okay? I would follow every email. I opted in for everything. I downloaded everything. I would literally sign up for things so I could get in there and see how they were doing it. And then I would copy it. I would just mimic and copy as much of it as possible. And I would start to be that person. Like, I would show up on my lives acting like that person, talking like that person, sounding like that person, like trying to be like that person. Everything I did in my business was anything except me. Just was everyone else. It was, I was creating offers that, if I'm being quite honest, I was not experienced with. I didn't know a whole lot about. I wasn't confident in them. And I didn't actually know if I could even help my clients do what I was teaching. Okay. Because literally I was like, just give me someone else's business and I will just execute it. Right. And what happened with that is, number 1, I didn't make money. Number 2, I didn't know how to help people. So no one got results. Number 3, I didn't know how to navigate through the questions that came up. And I didn't have behind the scenes of how they actually put that business together. So that did not work for me. I didn't have everything. The biggest piece was that I had no emotional connection to the work I was doing. I was not in love with it. I was not excited about it. Most definitely not confident with it. And everything that I was doing was so hard because I was like trying to be somebody else. I was trying to do things I knew nothing about and probably had no business doing at the time. And so every day felt like this really hard job. I felt like I was going in to a job that I knew nothing about and that I had no experience with and was just figuring it out as I went. And I felt like it was a very hard job. It took all of my time and all of my energy. It was very stressful and I didn't get anything in return. Like, I wasn't really making any money, right? And I felt like, wow, if I keep going like this, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I might have to actually get a job because this is like really hard. And also trying to keep up with this persona of me being someone that I wasn't. I had to talk different. I had to be very careful of my words and choose them wisely. I had to, dress a certain way. I had to look a certain way and then talk about certain things. I was literally like an imposter. And I would try to put my own spin on things, but really, I just didn't know what I was doing because there wasn't anything I was doing in my business that was from my heart. Like, nothing that I was passionate about. It wasn't even why I started my business. It wasn't even things that I had learned and had experience with. I was literally just copying people. I see this a lot actually in the industry. And you see this when you go from one thing to another, one thing to another. It's like you're just trying to find somebody's business model that's going to work for you, that you can step into, lean into, and just make it happen, right? The other reason that we get into this SOS mode is this is how and why we kind of get stuck in creating someone else's business. And then in the end, you feel like you're in this tailspin over and over again, and you're not excited anymore. You're like, oh, I don't get excited to work anymore. I don't get excited to get out of bed and like help people anymore. I'm not creative. I can't think of like, what should I talk about? What should I do? I have no creativity anymore. I'm not really fulfilled in my own business. And that was exactly, let me know if you guys can relate to any of this, but that was how I felt, because I felt like, being in the shiny object syndrome was like, it was a world outside of my own. It was like all I was doing was really getting trapped in other people's stuff to avoid getting really clear on what I wanted to be doing, why I started my business in the first place, right? Let me know if you guys can relate to this at all. Okay, I'm seeing some yeses over here in the comments. Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not alone, because most definitely this was a place that I was stuck in for a good 3-ish years in my business. Let's see, Gail said, but what I think of doesn't seem to work. Yeah, I mean, Gail, we can keep talking about that. That could be a whole nother slew of problems or things that you need to be looking at. I can tell you right now that if what you're doing is not working, it's nobody else's business is going to work for you either. And that's kind of what I used to think. I would put out offers that I created and they wouldn't sell. And I'd say, oh, mine suck, so I'm going to go copy somebody else's. But guess what? I didn't make money with theirs either. I didn't get any results with theirs any more than I did my own, because those things don't matter. Your offer is not what's going to be the thing that makes you money. Your strategies are not going to be the things that make you money. You showing up every day and marketing is not what makes money. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But that's the problem and the mindset shift we need to start changing. We need to start shifting our mindset from thinking that the strategies that we use and the offer that we put out there and the marketing that we do is what does or does not make money. Because those things don't matter. Those things change every day. If you put 100 entrepreneurs that are wildly profitable, successful, in the same room together, and you ask each and every single one of them, what are your offers? How do you market? What strategies have worked the best for you? How have you made your millions? Every single one of them are going to give you different things. There may be some things they do, because there is some structure and formula to a successful business, but they're going to tell you, oh, I use these strategies and I use these ones. Oh, I've done these ones. These worked great for me. They're going to give you all kinds of different strategies and all sorts of different offers that they have put out there that have made them their millions. And none of them are going to be 100% the same at all. The strategies in the marketing don't matter. And here's what I always tell my clients. If you can't sell your free stuff, you're not going to sell your paid stuff. If you can't sell your own shit, you're not going to sell anybody else's stuff. Those things don't have anything to do with it. It is your mindset. It is your being in alignment. It is the confidence work that you do. It is your consistency. It's your commitment. And then it's focusing on money-making activities to bring it all together. But if you don't do those first things first, that foundational mindset confidence work, and get clarity and get into alignment and excitement for your business, it does not matter what offer you put out. It doesn't matter your strategy. It doesn't matter how consistent you are. It doesn't even matter if you're a stellar marketer. You will not see consistent results. Okay, so some tips around the SOS that I want to share with you is like, the first thing you want to do is identify what you're passionate about, and then go confirm that it is actually sellable in the market, okay? And then create a 90-day plan that's going to take you step by step from, point A to point B, what you have to do to get from where you are today to where you want to be by the end of that 90 days. Don't try to do 6 months, 10 years, 50 years from now. I wouldn't even try to do a year from now. 90-day chunks of time is perfect. And especially if you're newer, okay? And here's the thing. You've got to identify what you're passionate about. Why did you start your business? If you want to answer that and share that in the comments, I'd love to hear. But why did you become an entrepreneur? Why did you start this business? Did you start it to go off and copy other people and create a replication of their business? Did you start it because, you want to provide for your family? Did you start it because you have something you're so passionate about that you want to share with the world and make great money at the same time? Why did you start this business? Why are you an entrepreneur? That is really the step one that you really need to identify, because if you don't know what you're passionate about and you don't know what you want to do, how are you going to make money? Because you're not going to make money copying somebody else's business. Also, you want to practice getting quiet more often, specifically in the morning. Like what I do is I set my morning intention. So I just kind of grab my journal. I have a lot of journals, but I just grab my journal, and every day I just do my morning intentions. Like I just write out the reality of what I want my day to look like, how I want to feel, what I want to create today, what I'm excited about, how I want to take care of myself, the fun things I want to do today to break up the day a little bit, how much money I want to make, what programs I'm offering, or maybe I'm just doing some really great live content. I literally write out in just a few minutes what I expect for my day today, what my intentions are for my day, because then I have a set of actions to follow because I know what I want. If you're just floundering around your business and you have no idea what you want, well, it's going to be hard to move toward anything because you don't know what you're moving towards, because you don't know what you want, right? You want to practice having a little bit of quiet time before you dive into your business to figure out what the heck you want to do today, to figure out what you're creating today. What are you offering today? How are you helping people today? How are you giving value today? Because that's what creates buyers, you know? How are you going to be consistent today? How are you going to feel today? Take good care of yourself today. If you're just jumping out of bed, diving into your business, you don't know what the heck you're doing or what goals you have or what you're passionate about or what you're working toward, I'm telling you, it's not going to work in this industry, right? And the other thing is there's not going to be any validation or success or confirmation that's going to be true for you outside of yourself. And that's the thing, is we need to learn how to trust ourselves more, because all of the answers that you need, all of the ideas that you need, everything that you need are inside of you. You just don't take time to be quiet for a few minutes to hear it and to feel it and to acknowledge it and let it come out so that you can take action on it. Instead, you're on Facebook. Oh my God, let me copy other people, or let me see what this one's talking about, or let me download this Facebook Live. Let me download this training. Let me opt into this and opt into that. Let me do this and all this free stuff. And all you're doing is taking information in. But that information does absolutely nothing for you if you don't know how to make it work for you, and if you're not passionate about it, and if you're not confident in it, and it's not aligned with what you're trying to do, right? All of the stuff you consume, everything you just download every day and kind of like float into your brain, that is somebody else taking money-making activities in their business. That is someone else showing up. That is someone else giving value. That is someone else asking for the sale. They're working in their business and they're doing what they love, what they're passionate about. That is their agenda. And what you've got to do is get out of that and get into your own, right? And I usually see people go into SOS mode when they're not clear for themselves on what it is they desire in the first place. There's nothing wrong with learning from other people or looking even at like maybe what other people are doing. But if you run your business entirely on what other people are doing, you might as well go get a boring job where you have someone saying, here's what I want you to do today. Clock in or punch in, do this stuff, punch out, go home. And at the end of the week, I'll give you a paycheck, right? You might as well go get a boring job because you're not using any of your own creativity. You're not using any of your skills, which defeat why we become entrepreneurs to begin with, right? Find your passion, find out what excites you, and then create from that place with complete trust in yourself. You don't have to go look at what anybody else is doing to confirm that you're doing it right. There's no right or wrong way. As long as you do what feels good to you, talk about what you love to talk about. Teach what you love to teach. Offer what you feel excited and inspired to offer. And stop looking outside for someone to give you permission to do it. Value your own creativity. Value your own skills and your own worth, and create from that place. Operate and function from that place every single day in your business. Put more time and energy on doing that, and you'll see momentum in your business. You will see a shift. You will see things move forward. You will see that things feel easier, more fun, that you feel more creative and aligned, versus just trying to build somebody else's business that you know nothing about in most cases. Okay. And even if what you do is similar to what others are doing, there is not another soul on this planet that's going to teach it the same way that you do. And that's what's going to help you stand out. Okay. All right. Does this make sense? Let me just see. Raisa said, I started it to be my own person, and I believe health is everything. Raisa, I agree with that. I think health is everything. And I think that we need more people, showing and teaching us and guiding us to be healthier and to tap into our own healing abilities that our body naturally has, and that food, good, healthy, natural food in its original state has. I absolutely don't think we even have enough people doing that. And I've noticed just the more people coming out and really doing this, you're seeing so many people, they're not getting the flu shots anymore. They're not turning to a prescription medication. They're looking at ways to naturally heal. And I think that that's a beautiful reason to come into business. All right, let's talk about procrastination. So procrastination typically happens for probably about 3 reasons. Number 1, you have no plan. You're just spinning your wheels every day, flying by the seat of your pants, and you're just randomly doing activities that you think you're supposed to be doing, but you don't have a concrete plan in place. I did this for probably 5 years. Because I was copying other people, I didn't have a plan because I didn't actually know how they were creating that business, right? I could see on the front, like, okay, they're putting this offer out, they're pricing it here, they're doing some lives, sending out some emails. Okay, I see that. But I didn't know in the back end how they were structuring to implement those things and to put those things out there. I didn't know how to create a plan to get to somebody else's goals. So therefore, I didn't really plan. And then once I started doing things, I would plan, but I didn't know how to plan. And so I would do it all wrong and I wouldn't get results, right? So here's the thing. You have to have a plan, okay? You've got to be focusing at least on like 30, 60, or 90-day chunks of time, and take your big goal and work backwards. Reverse engineer and create steps, 1, 2, or 3, or A to B, whatever it is that are going to get you from where you are to where it is you want to be at the end of the 90 days. Stop trying to build a multi-million-dollar business overnight. It's going to take you years to do that, chances are. Okay, we have to be realistic. I'm not saying you can't make a ton of money in a very short time and that it hasn't happened or whatever, because it has. We've all had little experiences like that. A sustainable, scalable, profitable, leverageable business that you can have for years to come consistently takes time, takes commitment, it takes consistency, it takes money making activities over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, no matter what. Okay, randomly just doing things in your business is not going to create longevity in your business. It's just going to put you into client chasing mode where you're every day. Your job is to chase that next client, that next payment. Okay. I don't recommend building a business like that. The other reason I see people get into procrastination, okay, other than the fact that they don't know how to plan, so they're not going to plan, right? Or they've done it before and it doesn't work. Bullshit. Works for everybody else. So why doesn't it work for you? You're just not doing it right. Number 2 is that you don't have faith, trust, or full belief in yourself, your abilities, and what's possible for you. And so instead, you self-sabotage by saying that you want one thing, but you're doing a complete opposite. And therefore, your daily actions actually push you further away from what you say that you want versus closer. When I have clients come to me and say, Ann, I want 5-figure months. I want to have my first $10,000 month. I know you can help me with that. That's what I want, right? And I say, great, let's talk about what you're doing in your business. Tell me a little bit about your business. Let's talk about what you're doing, and we'll look at what needs to happen to make that happen. They say they want $10,000 months, but they don't want to do the work. They just want that $10,000 every month, or whatever it is they want to make. They just want that to magically happen in their business, or they want to do one little thing each week or one little thing every day to produce that. And the reality of it is, it's not that freaking easy. You actually have to work. You have to put the work in. You got to do the effort. You got to take the risk. You got to make investments if you need it, because if you don't know what you don't know. If you need help, go get help. If you need a system, then get a system. If you need a team member, get a team member. If you need someone to help you put something together and put it out there, then go do that. If you need a coach, get yourself a coach. There's risks and there's commitment that come with success. And if you're not willing to do that, what are you doing here? Keeping it really real today, guys, because that's how it is. And I wish someone said that to me so that I didn't spend 5 years copying other people. And, you know, all of that time, I could have been building my own business and signing clients that were getting great results and making great money. Instead, I decided to not do that. And we had to sell our home before it went into foreclosure. We had to get rid of our family dog, and we had to go in debt $20,000 and some. And we had to borrow mortgage money from my mother-in-law every single month for a freaking year because I refused to get my head out of my ass and do what I had to do. I said I wanted money. I said I wanted clients. I said I wanted to help people, but I was not willing at the time to do what it took to make that happen. And sometimes those things are scary and they're unknown, right? And they're not comfortable. And it means making investments or borrowing money or taking out a credit card to get what you need to get where you want to be. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not in the right business. The other thing that I see that happens with procrastination is that we procrastinate to avoid what we know that we need to be doing and distract ourselves with busy things instead that feel like work so that we can validate yourself, right? So we can say, oh, I worked today. I worked really hard today. God, I worked 12 hours today. I worked a long day. I'm tired. I worked really, really hard today. But at the end of the day, it's all busy stuff. We're just getting stuff done. We haven't actually earned any money. We haven't helped anybody. We haven't given any sort of value. We haven't asked for the sale. We haven't done any money-making activities. We just got stuff done today. And we do that over and over. And the way that we validate putting ourselves into busy work to avoid the money-making activity work, the way we validate it is, I worked a lot of hours today. I worked so hard today. I got so much done today. I crossed off so much off that little checklist. But at the end of the day, you didn't get a client. You didn't make money. You didn't help a single person. You gave no value. And you're no further along than you were yesterday, right? I spent years there. I get that. I spent so much time there that my husband was like, you know, if we continue to have to sell our homes and get rid of our family dogs and like borrow money like this, you and I are going to have to sell this home and separate because I can't do this anymore. Okay. That's how long I stayed in that little rut. So here's what you need to do, right? What you need to do is really think about, maybe you don't really want what you say you want, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Many people start businesses to realize, I don't actually really want to run a business. Like, I don't actually want to be a business owner. I don't want all this responsibility. Maybe it's that you're scared to make a certain amount of money because of whatever. Your family won't approve, your friends won't approve. Maybe you'll lose friends. Maybe you think people will judge you. Maybe you're scared of money. I don't freaking know. Maybe you don't even want that much money. Maybe you're like, oh my God, I don't know, if I had 10,000 a month, I feel like I'd have so much responsibility and I really don't want that. There's nothing wrong with that, but you gotta get real with yourselves, okay? Maybe it's that you're not really sure what you do want. And that's okay too, because that's why we have coaches. That's why we have mentors to help us figure this stuff out, right? Maybe you have some fear or some blocks around things that you've got to do to get what you say you want. For me, that used to be Facebook Lives. I was so scared and petrified to do Facebook Lives or to be on any video. I didn't want to. I would write my heart out, blogs, emails, social posts, you name it, but I didn't want to be on video. And that was one of the things that when video came out, it was like, that's what my coaches, my mentors, my colleagues, they're like, Ann, do video. And I said I wanted clients and I said I wanted this much money, but I wasn't willing to do that. I was really scared to put myself out there. Another one is I was scared to share my story. It was very vulgar. It was gory. It was bad. It could be very triggery for some people. It was embarrassing. I was ashamed at the time. And everyone kept saying, Ann, you got to share some story. You got to share a little bit of you. Like, people need that. And I was petrified to do that. And so for years, I would not do the things I had to do to get what I said I wanted. So I didn't get what I wanted because I just came up with ways to procrastinate on just do the damn thing. Just do it. Just do it, right? And I just didn't. I resisted doing that for a long time. So here's what I'm going to recommend. Like, number one, get clear on what you truly want. Stop trying to be someone else. Stop trying to go 20 steps further from where you are right now. Stop trying to build somebody else's stuff. Stop trying to create what you think people want from you or what you think you should be doing, and figure out, what are you passionate about and why did you become an entrepreneur? Why are you starting your own business? Lord knows it's way harder to start your own business than to just go get a job and get a steady paycheck every week. So why are you one of the people that are starting your own business? Why are you doing it? And when you can identify why, that why is going to pull you through those fears, those doubts, those scary action steps that you've got to take, right? The scary investments, because you will be so attached to your why that you'll do whatever the effort takes to get what you want. You will become relentless about it, okay? Every single time, every time. If you can come back to the why you started this in the first place, that is what's going to get you to make those scary investments. That's what's going to get you to push yourself through fear. That's what's going to get you to take consistent action every day, even when you don't want to or when you feel like it's not working. It's going to get you to get the money even when you don't have it, because you will do whatever it takes to fulfill that why and to get what you want at the end. If you don't have that level of commitment, you're going to struggle. You're going to have a hard time. It's going to take you a long time, or it might not even be the right business venture for you. The other thing is, you've got to get honest with yourself about what you're really willing to do and not willing to do, okay? If you say that you want a certain something, well, what are you willing to do to get it? Because 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs want money, want clients, but they're only willing to do a portion of what it takes, and they're not willing to do the rest. Here's an example. I want 5-figure months. I can't wait another day. I've already lost everything. It's non-negotiable. Got to have it. Great. So you don't know how to do that. So you need to invest in a coach to help you do that. Oh no, not making any investments. Don't have the money. Not willing. What's next? There you go. That right there. You're not willing to do what it takes. 9 out of 10, you're going to make investments before you have the money. 9 out of 10, you're going to make investments before you have a client. 9 out of 10, you're going to borrow to get the money to get your business going. It's the facts. Nobody starts a business with no money invested. Look at your local stores around you and your local shops. They didn't build a business. They didn't make money first. They started a business and they borrowed the money to open that business, right? They had to make investments to get that business going, and they trusted and they had faith that they'd pay it all back. That's business. If you're not willing to do that, then I'm not sure why you'd be an entrepreneur. The other thing that I recommend, and so what I would say to that is, figure out what you're willing to do. Because if you kind of want it, but you kind of don't, you're just going to make excuses to fill your plate with busy things, to act as though you're too busy to do the money-making activities right now. I'll do that later. Right now, I got to do this. Oh, I'll do that next week. I got this to do first, right? But when you know what your why is and you know that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get that, you don't make excuses. Successful entrepreneurs don't make excuses. It's not what we do. If we want something, we go for it. If we believe in something and we trust it and it's aligned and it feels right, we do it. Doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter what it looks like. We do it until we get that thing or reach that benchmark or whatever it is. We don't make excuses. Excuses are not going to help you create a successful business ever, not ever, right? So figure it out. What are you willing to do? What are you not willing to do? Take action from that place, okay? And then stick to what you're passionate about and what you're confident with, and just start right there. You don't need to try to go so far, so fast, or become this overnight success, because that sort of success takes a village. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of hard work, systems and team, takes money and time and confidence and consistency, all of which comes with time and practice. It's not an overnight thing. I'm 15 years into my business and I'm still working on messaging and my mindset and my confidence and being consistent, and taking big leaps, like making big investments in more coaches and more team and more systems, things that I don't necessarily feel comfortable with, or that I feel like I might not be ready for. We're doing such big things this year, and it's so much of it is out of my comfort zone, and it's scary AF, and I don't know how it's going to work out, or is it the right decision, or how am I going to pay for all of this, right? But I'm doing it because there's not a goddamn thing stopping me from doing what I am passionate about, what I am here to do, period. God willing, I'm doing it. And that's it. I will make the investments. I'll find the money. I'll borrow it. I don't care. I don't worry about that. All I know is I'm doing what I'm going to do, and whatever it takes to get where I want to go. There's not a damn thing stopping me. Okay. And I say that God willing. But that's how you have to be. If you can't grow that tough skin and get really committed, what are you going to do? All right, let's see what you guys are thinking. And then I want to talk about organizing your ideas. Valerie said, I started doing that and seeing a difference. Denitra says, girl, I can relate. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Okay, great. So organizing ideas. This all really starts with like knowing what you want, right? Not in a vague way. Like, I want more clients, I need more money, I want more time, stuff like that. But specifically, what do you want? What do you want specifically? And if you're looking at the next like 90 days, like what do you want in the next 90 days? Really specific, like number of clients, number of money, the exact offer you want to sell, the exact price point of it, like that sort of thing. Give it dates, give it timelines, like be really specific, right? And then really identify, what am I willing to do to get this? And then I want you to list out the ways that you're willing to show up, list out the ways that you're willing to give value and be visible, and list out the ways that you're going to stay consistent to get what you want in the end, right? And be honest with what you're not willing to do. Because anyone can say that they want to make $1 million this year, or they want consistent 5-figure months, but only 10% of entrepreneurs are actually willing to do what it takes consistently, no matter what, to become successful, to be a success in their business. The other 90%, they never make it. Okay? So look at your habits, look at your patterns. The proof is in the pudding, okay? So what does your history say about you, about your commitment, your follow through, your willingness, your bravery, your faith? And where do you need to make some changes and shifts? Because here's the thing. Even if you feel like to this point, like if you're, even in this moment, to this point, if you feel like you're that procrastinator, you're that busy person, you're like not really willing to do what it takes, or you haven't been so far, even if that's you, if you want to change that, then that's the key, right? Like I was all of this. I was that person. I copied everybody. I did what everybody else was doing. I was not willing to do the work. I didn't invest in anybody for like the first 5 years of my business. Hence the reason for 5 years, I couldn't make over $2,000 a month if I was lucky. And for over 5 years, I worked, 50 to 60 hours a week. And for over 5 years, my family went to Disney and they went and had family vacations, and I stayed home and worked and missed out on all of it. For 5 years, we had to sell our home and live in a shitty little apartment in subsidized housing. For 5 years, we had to sit on food stamps. For 5 years, we struggled because I wasn't willing to do what it took to get what I said I wanted. Nobody's telling you what you have to have. You could be happy with $5,000 a month, $2,000 a month. Nobody's telling you what you have to have. You're deciding what you want. So what are you willing to do to get it? Nobody can do this work for you. Nobody can do this work for you. And so you have to look at, where do you need to make some changes and shifts to get what you say you want, right? And that's what you want to look at, is your patterns and your habits. And do you want to change them? And how bad do you want to change them? Or do you just want to stay that person because it's easier? Because I'll be honest, it was easier living in low income. It was easier having the state give me food stamps and money to feed my kids. It was easier to just have a job. It was easier, to not have team and to not have systems and to have no coach and no responsibility. It was easier to have just 1 or 2 clients a month. That was easier. It's not what I wanted though. So I had to really own that and say, well, if I want more, I got to put in more effort. I got to do the things. It's your choice. It's nobody else's choice or responsibility. If you don't want to do the work to get something, then what are you willing to do? And you're going to have to lower what you want if you're not willing to do the work, right? Everyone can take their passion and profit from it. It comes down to that commitment, the consistency, and your willingness to do the work and stick it out. Because here's the deal. It's not easy. It has ups, it has downs, and there are a ton of risks. And if you're not game for that, then you really need to rethink starting a business, because there's no guarantees with any of it, right? I can't guarantee my income every single month. I can't guarantee I'm always going to fill a program. I can't guarantee a launch is going to be a success. I can't guarantee that I'm going to, take out this loan or borrow this money or, whatever, and then like be able to pay it right back. I don't know. There's no guarantee of that. There's no guarantee of anything being a success or working out or going the way I expect or plan. There is no guarantee of this. The only guarantee that we have, or that I can say I have, is that every single day that God allows for me, I am going to show up. I'm going to do my part 100% no matter what. That is the only thing I can guarantee. If God allows it and I am here and alive every single day and well enough to do it, I will get it here. I will get up and get here every day, and I will do my part 100%. And that is the only guarantee that I can offer. And that is the only guarantee that you can offer and that your business can offer. Everything else is a leap, it's a risk, and it's taking it with faith that it's going to work out. And if you don't have the skin for that, if you can't make an investment and trust yourself, have faith that you will do whatever it takes to make that money back and pay it off, well, then you're probably not going to get far in your business. If you can't make investments, or if you think you're going to have all the money first and then you'll make the investment, it never works that way. Of course, that's not going to happen, right? Or if you're not going to take risks because you're afraid it might not work out the way you want it to or need it to, business isn't a good idea, because every day is a risk. You're going to take all kinds of risks, from hiring a team to investing to putting yourself out there in a certain way, to your offers, your price points, your launches. It's all a risk with no guarantee. So you've got to have a 90-day plan. This is where I recommend you start. I recommend that you start with a 90-day plan once you do the clarity work and get really clear and honest with yourself, right? Yes, you can create, these little offers here and there. You can definitely chase the next client forever if that's what you choose to do. You can put random offers here and there. You can create low ticket offers or, smaller offers, and you can pray and hope for sales. You can do all of that stuff. But if you're truly doing this, go big or go home, right? There's no success in playing small or safe. If you want long-term clients and you want a long-term income, you've got to create offers and plans to support that. And you've got to do what it takes. You've got to do the work. Most people don't plan because they either don't know how or they're scared of committing to doing the work. And that's what a plan is based off, right? So create a 90-day plan. Have a plan that outlines 1 to 3 big goals for the 90 days. Okay. Really just 1 or 2 goals, but 3 if you're feeling ambitious and if you're going to do the work, for just 90 days, and then reverse engineer them. What is it going to take in steps to get that end result? And those are your daily focuses for the next 90 days, no matter what. Don't worry about this person's Facebook Live. Don't worry about this webinar. Don't worry about this new offer this one's putting out. Don't get lost in other people's agendas. Focus on your 90 days and your action steps every single day, step by step. And then within that plan, know your triggers and your patterns and get support around those things. If you know you need accountability, if you know that there's certain things you don't know anything about, and that in order to make this plan work, you're going to need help in those things, get that support. Okay? Get that support. And then always look at what is the fastest, easiest way that I could hit these goals. Really eliminating the wasteful, creating, and busy tasks. Okay? That's what I would recommend. So here's a couple of action steps, a little recap. Number 1, go off and identify your passion and your why, and have a little faith in yourself. What is it that you're so passionate about? Why'd you start this business? What are you so passionate about? What is your mission here? What is your purpose? And how can you start to create more faith in yourself that you can take these risks, these leaps, and these unknown, unforeseen actions, and with faith and trust, it'll all work out. You'll pay it all back It'll all work out exactly as it should. And at the very minimum, you will learn a whole bunch that you need to learn going forward, right? Identify, so that's number one. And then number two is identify that 90-day goal. And what is your willingness to commit to doing it and doing whatever it takes, no matter what, and staying out of market mode. No need to dabble. You don't need to try every strategy known to man. Just identify what feels good for you. Remember, how do you want to show up today? How do you want to be visible today? How do you want to help people today and give value? That is it. That's what you got to ask yourself every day. And then just do what your body and mind tells you to do. Don't look outside for that stuff. And then the third thing is create the space and the support that you can, that you can create and take action from that place of inspiration and alignment and confidence, so that you're not looking outside of yourself for validation or the right strategy or tactic. And you're not looking to other people for proof that you can do this, because you can do it if you want to do it. You don't need anybody else to tell you anything. If you want to do this, then do it. What are you waiting for, right? Success does not happen or stay consistent because of the strategies or your pretty little sales page or your funnels or even consistently doing the work. It comes from your unwavering passion, desire, and commitment to get the thing that you say you want. And in the end, you create the money-making activities, the action steps that bring it all together. But it's not those action steps by themselves. Make sense? Let me know if this was helpful. Valerie said, I do my posts first, usually, then others. Yep. Yeah, typically what I do is we focus on money-making activities. And when those things are done for the day, then we can go in and focus on other people's stuff or doing whatever you want to do. But you get your business agenda done first. Cool. Awesome. Let me just see if there's any other final questions. Otherwise, we'll leave this replay here for you guys. Okay. Cool. All right. I don't see any other questions coming in right now. Let me just look here. Cool. And if you guys have any questions, just drop them in the comments below. Valerie says yes. Drop them below and we will continue the conversation, right? Raisa said, when you used to say journal, I always thought, what the heck, why and how? A few days ago, I finally got in my thick head and I started writing. And I asked myself the questions: who was the parent I was trying to please when I was growing up? And what was the expectations I lived by? Seen and not heard, allowing others to take care of me, and so on. Then it hit me to create a new identity. Such an aha moment. Raisa, I love that. I love that you had that breakthrough. You deserve it. You've worked really hard to get there. And I'm glad that you have that breakthrough, right? And there'll be more. There's going to be more things to work through and more breakthroughs to experience and have. And I'll say, the journaling part is not about meditation. There's not a right or wrong way. It's just about getting to know yourself better. It's about having faith in yourself and trust and figuring out what you want. What do you want out of this life? Because we can absolutely just follow what we've been conditioned to believe. We can follow what our parents said to do or how they raised us. But for those of us wanting more and that feel like there's such a different version of ourselves inside of us, we need to explore and find that. And we need to be creative. We're meant to be creative. We're meant to do big things and transform lives and have big impacts, right? And so getting quiet and journaling is about learning more about yourself and discovering who you really are or who you really want to be. And then what does it take to start creating that and to step into that and to be that person, right? I could have lived on food stamps and housing my whole life and been poor. That's what I knew. That's what I grew up as. And that's what my family taught me. And to this day, my family is still living off the state and trying to suck it for all they can. And I didn't want that. I could have stayed there, but I spent time thinking and feeling and asking myself and imagining something better and just trying to find a way to be a better version of me, to create a better life for my kids and to have a better life and have an impact, when I'm gone, I want to have a legacy. I want to have something that I lived for and a purpose. I wanted a purpose on this life, right? In this life. And so for me, it was about just getting quiet and tapping into that and listening and feeling into it and asking myself questions and figuring out, what do I start doing just step by step every day, just one little thing every day to start to move forward and come out of this life and into something better. Because I wanted to help people and I knew that was my purpose. That's why I was here. I didn't go through all the hell I went through in those foster homes to not help other people or to just sit there and that was it, right? I went through that so that I could be strong enough to help another person that isn't strong enough or that doesn't know how. And so I had to fulfill that mission, that purpose. But I wouldn't have ever thought that if I didn't give myself some quiet time to really tap into that, right? And so that's why journaling is so, so important. All right, lovely ladies. It has been so much fun. Raisa, amen, sister. It's been a blast. Continue working on these things, guys. It's not something that happens overnight. It does come with practice. It comes with time. It comes with just this relentless consistency to do whatever it takes and to just keep going when it feels hard, when it feels like it's not working, when it feels like all the odds are against you. Just keep going. Just keep going. I promise it all works out. All right. So I'll see you guys here next week. I'll keep the replay here. Listen to it as many times as you need to. If you're on the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Ask any questions. I'm here to support you. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys later, and I hope this kicks off your week on a really good foot, okay?